Not that they need any introduction whatsoever, but that is, of course, Elbow and Grounds for Divorce, and I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Craig and Mark from Elbow, live in studio here. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back to Ireland. We love you here.
We love it here.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And for once, I don't have to apologise for the rain.
Well, we seem to have brought some clouds with us.
Yeah,
So
don't speak too soon.
Don't take it personally. I see plenty of blue where I'm sitting.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's going to be fine, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, I know this summer hasn't been quite as crazy as last summer. You mentioned that you did 28 festivals last year, which is insane.
Something like, yeah. No,
Yeah.
not just in, UK and Ireland, obviously European festivals and a couple in the States, but yeah, I didn't think there was that many festivals.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought so myself. So you're seasoned pros, so we're really looking forward to seeing you on the main stage later on. But what have you been doing with your summer this year that you were sort of taking a little bit of time? Does that mean studio, or is that writing, or...?
We've been in and out of the studio. Yeah, we've started writing the next album, which is very exciting.
It's really exciting.
Normally we don't tend to go there till after we finish the campaign for the last one. So we decided to get in there sooner this time. And we've been doing the Olympic theme tune, which has taken a bit of our time earlier on this year.
How did that come about? We're talking about First Steps, the theme song for the Olympics that the BBC used. So how did that all come to fruition?
Well, we were approached to ask, to see if we wanted to do it. I think there was maybe a few other bands up for it, but yeah.
The guy's very good at convincing people, and he did convince them that we'd do a great job.
It's such a cool thing to have. It was really, I think, in Ireland as well, we were completely obsessed and swept away. It was all day long, everybody glued to their tellies. It was such a big success, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was an amazing.
I think people were expecting to enjoy it, but it was really great.
Yeah, there's a lot of people sort of saying they're not bothered about Olympics. I never understood that, but no, I think everyone was actually, really blown away by it.
Really inspirational stuff.
And the closer it got, the more huge thing you realise it is. And it's the same with us when we were writing the theme tune. It was a long time. It was quite a while ago when we first found out. But the closer it got to the Olympics, we realised it's just amazing to be part of it.
Huge, absolutely huge. Yeah, I don't know if it's also that maybe because so many of my friends working in music and media and musicians, we're not usually that fit. So when you see these people, like every single woman had a six-pack, I was like, oh my God. The amount of training, the amount of physical exertion, you sort of think a day's promo or sound check, is exhausting, but
yeah, absolutely.
New scales of impressiveness. So for you guys now, what sort of timeline do you think realistically, like how much of the new album's done?
We think we're about halfway through, which we're trying to approach it slightly differently, different ways of writing, which is good. Keep it fresh and interesting for us.
How so?
We've done a thing whereby normally we'd sort of do a 4-day week. We'd all five of us would be in the studio, and we'd have a day off. Recently, we've been sort of say 3 people in on one day, a couple of people in on another day. So it's a different dynamic when it's not all 5 members of the band there writing on the music.
Yeah.
And you might take one idea and 2 groups of people work on it independently of each other, and then sort of come back together and listen to where it's at. So
it's a genuine surprise. You don't know what the other lads have done.
Yeah, and it's meant the work rate has been higher because it's a 5-day week now. People are having one day off, but there's always somebody doing something in the studio. And I think the other thing that's different about it is we're moving on from songs quicker than we would if we're feeling a song isn't quite making it, rather than labour it until it works. We sort of said, oh, okay, let's put that to one side and write another 5 songs until we get one better.
Wow.
Yeah, it's strange because you get attached to ideas and you don't want to let them go, but you realise that if they're not happening naturally, if it's not coming... if you're feeling like it's a bit of a pain to be working on a song, then it's best to... We have like a cull every sort of month or so.
Yeah. Someone always gets upset because there's an idea that you love, that you can see the potential for, but those songs that are called aren't necessarily dead. It's up to you, if you're still passionate about it, to take it home, work on it, come back, say, okay, what about this direction on it? Look, I've improved it in this way.
And is it sometimes the case, Mark, that it's a bit like if you can't remember somebody's name and when you want to, and then you go home and it's the first thing that pops into your head? Are songs ever like that you just can't make it work, you let it go and you move on to some other songs, and then all of a sudden a little click happens late at night and you go, I think that could work?
Yeah, it does happen like that sometimes.
Yeah, it can
totally.
do, definitely, yeah. I mean, they are literally on the computer in another folder they can be dragged out at any time.
They're not dead.
Yeah,
buried.
if someone's like passionate enough to sort of think, no, this really should be working, and then that's fine. But yeah, it's we've been writing and writing.
And what about the Rarities and B-Sides compilation that's just come out? So for all the die-hard Elbow fans listening, if you haven't already got it, it is out there now. Is that the place where all those sort of the ones you loved and cried about that didn't quite make the album? Is that the place that they got to show up again?
Some of them are there, but we're really proud of this B-side record. You know, even though it's over sort of about 10 years of releasing albums and singles that it's taken from, we think it hangs together really well as a record, and the songs were picked for that reason, so it works as an album, really. And it has a real late night vibe to it, and I think a real relaxed vibe to it, because it's often, when you're writing B-sides, the end of the album, and you are more relaxed, you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, this is a B-side, yep, that sounds great, we'll just release it. And I think for that, they don't sound overworked, the songs on the record. And we just found out it's at number 4 in the charts today.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Wow. For Rarities and B-Sides.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, top 5, not bad, is it?
There's an awful lot of bands out there sickened right now. That's amazing. Why Dead in Boot? Dead in the Boot, sorry.
It was Guy's sister came up with the idea of, when we first recorded Asleep in the Back, she said, if you ever do a B-sides album, call it Dead in the Boot. So we just stuck to it and said we always would when we did it. So, but when we actually had to finalise the decision, we're like, oh, should we? Yeah, we have to. So it's a bit of a joke on our debut album title.
That's very cool. I don't know if you get asked to do many sort of extensive interviews, or if you're ever asked to give advice to other bands, you know, on your label. But I think what's so incredible about Elbow and, you know, the Mercury Music Prize, all the sort of multi-platinum, all the golds, the fact that the B-Sides album's already number 4 in the charts. But early on, like you had that same experience that so many bands have, which was having an album that didn't come out and getting drafted in those early days. And I'm sure there's been many glorious ha-ha moments, but... Do you ever sort of pass on and don't give up, because look at us now?
You have to. I mean, we don't play Frisbee anymore, because on the 2 occasions we were playing Frisbee, we were given the news we'd been dropped by our label.
Get out.
Bizarrely. So, yeah, we're not allowed to play
strange.
Frisbee anymore.
No Frisbees at all.
That's so random.
Yeah, I know.
No Frisbees on the bus.
I've never thought of them as evil. Like a bad luck charm for Elbow.
Yeah, no, we've been through a lot, but you know,
There's mad flies going around and little Daddy Langlois.
I was saying something wrong then.
No. It's just you're being dive bombed. Sorry about that, Craig.
Just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah, so a bit of a roller coaster since there.
Yeah. You know, we've realised that we couldn't really do anything else. So it's important to say stick to it. But you know, we didn't. None of us went to college. I think Jupp got some sort of qualifications from college. We went to college, but no one got anything.
That's where he got started, right?
Yeah. But no, this is just what we do, and you know, even if we weren't, making money from it, it'd be a struggle, but we'd still be doing it.
It was never about that. We've always loved writing songs together, and before Seldom Seen Kid, we were kind of an underground band, and we were quite happy to be that. You know, we weren't certainly weren't trying to write songs that we thought would take us to the next level.
But I mean, I think back to my days of pirate radio before being an RTE, and that's when we got Newborn and Fugitive Motel, and you were always really credible, very much like the sort of the Radioheads. So it was really amazing to see all of a sudden this explosion to daytime high rotation. Really exciting to see that.
It's nice when really young bands come up to you and say, you're an inspiration to us, you're an influence on our music. They probably sound nothing like what we do, but I suppose it's the elder statesmen and the sort of appreciate that we have stuck at it and we've done it the right way.
And what do you look forward to now when you come to festivals after last year? Boy, 28 of them. You know them inside out. So how do you approach it? Like, how do you stack the albums? Because you've got a lot to choose from at this stage. Yeah,
it's tough. It's always tough, the set list discussion. We're getting better at it. There used to be lots of arguments. Yeah. Festivals are different in a way because you're not always just playing to your crowd.
Pump out the hits.
Yeah, well, we
sort of, but we don't
really
necessarily play a lot of our singles. What have been singles over the years.
We don't have any hits.
No.
I beg to differ.
Festivals, it's important for us to get across the different sides to our music. You know, the romantic sides, the sort of slow burning stuff, as well as the air punching Grounds for Divorce and One Day Like This. So I suppose bands are tempted to just put your set full of high tempo numbers, but the honest truth is we haven't got that many high tempo numbers.
No, and it's not what we're best at either.
You're not really a
No.
dance remix
No.
kind of band,
No.
and that's kind of
We
great.
just try and do our best ones, but we know that we want people to have fun at the same time.
We're so looking forward to it. I'm so glad you came in. Craig and Mark from Elbow, they'll be on the main stage at 8 o'clock, which is just the perfect time.
It is.
Sun will be going
that's
down.
our slot, the sunset slot.
Yeah,
The
it's going to
sunset
be
slot.
great. So a new album possibly early 2013?
Maybe late.
Maybe later than that.
2013, yeah.
But you're writing it. That's the most important
Yeah.
thing. That's really exciting.
Yeah, we're well into it, yeah.
Well, listen, lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for coming in. We're going to do the air punching right now.